everybody, my name is Chris and this will be my review for Haunted Mansion. Now, Haunted Mansion is directed by Justin Simon, stars Lucky Stanfield, Rosario Dawson, Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Jared Leto. Now, a woman and her son who lives a monthly cult of so-called spiritual experts to help them get rid of their home spiritual squatters. So, the Haunted Mansion is the second adaptation of the popular ride at Disney, and whether you been into Disneyland or not, the Haunted Mansion is one of the most beloved Disneyland rides, and I love it so much, and it has a very special place in my heart. And because I've been going to Disneyland since I was a kid, and I kind of have to admit, when they said they were bringing out a second one, a part of me was really excited, but of course I was very nervous because the last attempt didn't go over so well. The trailer for this film made it seem like it was going to be Rosario Dawson and her sons, like the characters. I thought they were going to the story really evolve around them, because they are the ones who are moving into the spooky house, and they had to hire help to kind of exercise the house. And once I started watching the movie, very quickly you realize there is Lakeith Stanfield's character the focus in this movie, and I had to admit they really do out together very monthly cool. Now this almost kind of a feel like a D&D party kind of vibe to it, a little bit, so where it's more, even though you have your main characters, you do have many other characters that are very part of the crew. Like we have Gabby and her son, they are the ones unfortunately moving into the spooky house, but we also have Lucky's character Ben, we have Tiffany Haddish as the medium, we have Owen Wilson as the priest, and we have Danny DeVito as the historian here, and a couple of other characters, but these are like the mainstays of characters for this movie. And what the story they kind of gave us, and why it's really centered more around Lucky's character instead of anyone else, aside from telling the story of the Haunted Mansion, it also tells the story of loss and grief, and that was something I didn't expect, and I was kind of actually surprised, and I appreciate them putting a different spin of what I thought I was going to be going in. And I will say at times they will revisit the themes of the feeling of loss and grief, which is great, especially in the way Lakeith performed his role is such a standout in this film. Like he's the one to watch here. I mean, they are all good, but Lakeith really stood out to me. But sometimes they were in a really great scene about something in the match and the history and all of it, and then all of a sudden it switched over Lucky's storyline, and it just felt abrupt. There was like a weird tonal shift that made the whole thing kind of disconnected. I have to admit, this does have really love good moments. I really feel there are some that are very heartful, and there are actually really spooky and creepy moments in here. They had great character developments and some great acting moments, but the transitions between those moments felt really sharpy. It felt like we were diving into this character and this heart, and you just started to get the feels, and then something will kind of break the mood, and we'll be switching to a different other, something a little bit more comedy or something a little bit more spooky, instead of staying with that moment a little bit longer. But overall, there were a lot of fun, different moments. There were different scary moments. There were different heartful moments. I really enjoyed this film. People excited about this film, like the fans of the ride. There are so many Easter eggs and reference to the ride. If you are hardcore Disney Park goer, you will notice them a lot. And I think you're going to appreciate like the Madden Low Up, like the constant situation room, like the endless hallway, and so on for anything you can think of will be there. And so I really appreciate that kind of watching it come to light as far for like the level of scariness. I think a lot of people, because of the ride, a lot of kids will see this, that I would say this movie does have some pretty decent jump scares. I think maybe like for 5 to 6 years, maybe you want to supervise them, because some parts can get a bit scary. But if you are already took your children to the ride at Disney, they can watch the movie like no problem. Now there's a lot of comedy actors in this movie, and I feel like uh, Tiffany Haddish stuff work the best for me. Some of the comedy moments, not all of them did work for me, and I was very surprised that the comedy moments with Owen Wilson and Danny DeVito, it just, what happened was they will insert a couple of lighter moments, so funny jokes, right after a more heavy scene, but they laugh it off, and I wish they give it a little bit, just like a moment to breathe before you break the tension. So the tunnel chef felt very abrupt. The comedy didn't work too much for me in this movie. Like most of it was good, but it was uneven. It felt like it was too cheesy. A lot of it was very unnecessary. I felt like what they did with the characters of Danny DeVito's and Owen Wilson's and made them a little bit not needed here, unnecessary and all. And they really had in there with the comedy parts. They definitely did their specialty, and they have a Owen Wilson as Kate, Kate, and Danny DeVito's Kate do their special, and but the way they were presenting this character, so I feel they would have been able to focus more on the other four characters, and I think you could have done a lot of those moments better. Some of the comedy, like it feels like you hired Danny DeVito and Owen Wilson to have their specific brand of humor in this movie, and I feel they had the potential of really being able to tell this certain and much deeper story, but they wanted to play safe with certain comedy to lighten the mood, and I feel like it was all over the place, partially due to this. They also tried to insert a lot of history about the mansion with all the ghosts, and they're kind of leave that, but they also kind of creates a problem of we're focusing on too many things. We're focusing on exercising the mansion, we focus on the character of Ben and his story, and then we have the Tiffany Haddish storyline sort of as well, and Owen Wilson and then DeVito, and it was like it was too much. Now we had some really fun surprise cameos in this movie, some really big names, and I was surprised because it was fun to watch because they were part of pop out of nowhere, and it was just so cool to see. Now, no spoilers, of course, but I hope. Once you see the cameos, that's about it. They are very short, but they were fun to watch, and I hope no one ruins them for you. And so, while I had a fun time watching this, and and as a fan of the ride, I really enjoy all the Easter eggs and reference here, and like seeing that come to life on the big screen, for me was just a lot of fun, and fans of the ride are really going to enjoy this movie. Now, I would say like the pacing and the choppiness and the a lot of the unnecessary comedy or storylines that didn't go anywhere, and that really hurts the film here. And I would say if you're not a fan of the ride, I think it's a good movie to watch, especially on a good Halloween movie. So it's great to add that to my collection. And I would say if you're not a fan of the ride, you can wait to digital to buy or rent it, or on Disney Plus when it comes to Disney Plus to watch it. But that's about it. And that's my review for Haunted Mansion. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.